Ola Electric's founder and CEO is being scrutinized for his management style. Welcome to Backstage with Millionaires. I'm Caleb, your host, and several former and current employees have come forward and described Ola Electric's work culture as hostile. In fact, employees have accused Bhavish of treating them badly over little things, like, for example, allegedly ripping a report that an employee wrote in half because he forgot to include page numbers, or allegedly shouting at people in the office because he wasn't satisfied with the quality of the physical paper there in the office, or allegedly sometimes referring to teams within the company as useless. But all of these stories pale in comparison to this last one, where Bhavish allegedly ordered a custodial manager to run 3 laps around the massive future factory, this huge EV plant, because the entryway to the plant was closed at a time when it shouldn't have been. In response to this toxic culture, among other things, 20 executives have resigned from Ola Electric in the last couple of months. And recently, one of Ola Electric's top former employees said that expectations at the company were like having to run a marathon like the world's greatest athlete, Usain Bolt. Now, Bhavish Agarwal has actually responded to these allegations, and he's not apologizing or backing down. He said that not everybody is fit for the company's work culture, and he doesn't want an easy journey for either himself or for Ola. All right, next up in the news, BYJU'S has raised $250 million in a mix of equity and debt funding. Now, I definitely think some people were confused or surprised by this news, given that BYJU'S just recently laid off 2,500 employees. That's 5% of the company's workforce to cut costs and aim towards profitability. And on that same day, they also announced their FIFA sponsorship. So it does make it a little bit hard to tell what BYJU'S is actually doing here. They're raising money, they're laying people off, they're sponsoring FIFA. What are they trying to do? Also, BYJU'S was originally planning on raising somewhere between $500 million and $700 million, so this $250 million is definitely a bit lower than what they were originally planning. Now, in spite of all of these moving pieces, BYJU'S CEO Baiju Ravindran has actually made a statement saying that the company's unit economics are working and that they're targeting profitability by the end of the financial year of 2023. Now, Pankaj and I actually recorded a podcast. It was about an hour long where we talked about all of this stuff. We posted that on Backstage with Millionaires Uncut. So if you want to check that out, you can find a link to it in the description down below. But this isn't actually unique to BYJU'S. There have been tons of layoffs in India's edtech space over the last year or so. Collectively, these edtech companies have laid off somewhere in the ballpark of 10,000 employees, and BYJU'S accounts for the largest number of these layoffs, close to 6,500 at this point. All right, next up, let's move into our bird's eye segment now, because at least 13 Indian startups have raised more than $1 million this week, with the total coming in at $450 million raised across India's entire startup ecosystem. So, of course, this week, leading the charge, we have BYJU'S, and the $250 million that they raised makes up 56% of all the funds raised across the entire ecosystem. But then next, we have one EV company, Ather Energy, and they raised 11% of all the funds. That's $50 million. After Ather, we have one company in the fintech space, ProgCap, and they've raised 11% of all the funds. That's $50 million. Now, ProgCap is a New Delhi-based financial services company that provides financial tools for micro and small businesses. And then finally, we have one company in the food and beverages space, Go Pizza, and they've raised 6% of all the funds. That's $25 million. And Go Pizza is a Bengaluru-registered Seoul-based company which serves food and beverages, especially pizza. All right, next up, just a couple of quick updates for you guys now. First of all, the Karnataka High Court has allowed Ola, Uber, and Rapido to resume their auto rickshaw ride-hailing services. But during this allowance, these ride-hailing companies can charge a 5% GST, and then they can also charge users 10% of the base fare as a convenience fee as well. All right, next up, take a look at this. This is the Flipverse. Or maybe it's just Flipverse without the at the beginning. But anyways, Flipverse is an online shop where Flipkart users can actually buy products inside of a metaverse. And the cool thing about this is that as long as you're in India, you can actually access this right now from your smartphone. All you need to do is have the Flipkart app, and then you open it, navigate to categories, and then tap on Fire Drops, and then you can enter Flipverse. All right, next up, we were thrilled to see how many people went over and actually checked out our behind-the-scenes Instagram account, Inside BWM. If you haven't checked that out, we're quickly approaching 100 followers, and we're going to keep updating it with new stories and new posts about the shenanigans that the Backstage with Millionaires team gets up to, because it's not just me. Even though I'm the one that's on the camera right now, there's actually a team of people that make these videos possible. So make sure to check us out on Inside BWM on Instagram. And that is all the startup news that I have for you guys this week. week. I really hope that you enjoyed the video and that you learned a lot from it. Big thanks now to all of our Backstage with Millionaires members, our unicorns, our decacorns, and our hectacorns. And big thanks to you as well for watching this video through to the end. All right, I will see you guys in the next one.